The stars above Earth were peaceful, shining like silent watchers in the sky. But that peace was about to end. At exactly 3:03 a.m. GMT. Every screen across Earth, every phone, TV, computer, and even old satellites suddenly turned black. A deep voice echoed through every speaker in every language known to man. This is the Galactic Council. Earth has reached its limit. Submit to our laws in 10 days or face destruction. People around the world froze. Families stared at screens. Soldiers stood still. Scientists blinked in shock. No one had seen it coming. A warning from space. In orbit above Earth's moon, a massive ship appeared out of nothing. It was the size of a small city, black as coal, with strange symbols glowing red along its side. It didn't fire. It just hovered, watching the world panicked. News channels broadcast the message again and again. The governments of Earth met in secret. The United Nations, NATO, world leaders, everyone tried to understand what had just happened. Was it a joke? A threat? A test? But the ship was real, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Under a classified military base buried deep beneath the ocean floor, alarms sounded. A man in a gray uniform stood in front of a large digital wall map. His face was calm, his eyes sharp. "Activate Titan Protocol," he said, across hidden bases worldwide. The order was received. Giant blast doors opened inside Antarctica, revealing something huge and silent. Deep under the Mojave Desert, a buried silo unlocked. And far beneath Tokyo, power lines began to hum. The general turned to his staff. "They think we were sleeping. They think Earth was weak. They made a mistake. Somewhere on Mars, a small human research base received a coded message. Within hours, it vanished from alien scans. Humans had been building things the galaxy didn't know about. Back on Earth, people were scared. Civilians demanded answers. Protests started. Scientists tried to make contact. Some begged their leaders to surrender. Some thought it was better to survive as slaves than die in a hopeless war. But the leaders didn't reply. Not yet. Instead, they listened to an old recording made years ago by Earth's most secret space program. It said, "If the Galactic Council ever comes for Earth, we don't run. We don't kneel. We show them what we've prepared." 10 days. That was the deadline. Day 1 passed. Earth stayed silent. The council grew impatient. Inside their grand chamber, a ring of glowing seats. Floating in a dome of starlight, the alien leaders spoke. "They are disobedient," said a tall, thin being with skin like silver metal. "They must be punished," hissed a creature with 6 arms and burning eyes. "They are primitives," sneered another. "Destroy one of their cities as a warning." The council agreed. A small battle fleet, 20 fast attack cruisers, and 1 command ship left orbit. They sped toward Earth. Their mission was simple: destroy New York City, show the humans the price of disobedience. But they never made it before. Reaching the upper atmosphere, the fleet was met by something strange. Small black shapes appeared around them, fast, silent, unknown. The alien ships opened fire, but their shots vanished, swallowed by invisible shields. Then Earth answered. From behind the moon, several human ships decloaked. They were sleek, sharp, and unlike anything seen before. The alien sensors could barely track them, one by one. The alien ships exploded. Fast, precise, clean. The entire council fleet. It's gone in 90 seconds. The command ship tried to escape. Something ripped it apart in mid-space. A simple message was sent back to the council. "You gave us 10 days. You've had your answer." On Earth, the news was tightly controlled. Only the top military leaders knew what had happened above. But rumors started. People claimed to see strange lights in the sky. Some believed Earth had alien defenders. Others said the world was doomed. But in the secret bunkers, the truth was clear. Earth had revealed just a glimpse of its real power. The general stood in front of a screen, watching footage of the destroyed alien fleet. He didn't smile. He looked serious, even sad. "We didn't want this," he said quietly, "but we are ready." He pressed a button. On the dark side of the moon, something huge began to move. A structure, long and hidden beneath its surface, unfolded. Looked like a weapon. No, something more. The Titan-class defense grid. Built in secret for over 50 years, made to fight a war Earth had hoped would never come. At the same time, deep in Earth's oceans, submarines loaded with unknown cargo changed course. Not to patrol, but to activate launch points for something no alien had ever seen. Even underground cities began to shift. Civilians had no idea, but their world was changing. Meanwhile, in the Andromeda sector, the Galactic Council held an emergency session. The footage of the destroyed fleet was real. The ships had been vaporized. No signs of Earth's primitive missiles or lasers. What weapons do they use? One alien leader demanded. We don't know, came the reply. Their tech is hidden. Their energy signatures are unlike anything we've recorded. They were supposed to be weak, shouted another. A young alien analyst, shaking, raised her voice. They're not weak. They've been preparing. Maybe. Maybe they knew we'd come. The chamber fell silent. The oldest member of the council, blind and ancient, whispered something no one wanted to hear. This is not the beginning of war. This is the end of peace. Back on Earth, the human leaders finally spoke to their people. On live broadcast, the general from the secret base stood before the world. We were warned to submit, he said, his voice strong. But humanity does not kneel. We have stood against impossible odds before. We do not fear extinction. We do not fear war. We are prepared. Across Earth, people began to cheer. Fear turned to fire. Doubt turned to courage. Young soldiers volunteered. In record numbers, engineers worked around the clock. Civilians sent messages of support. Artists painted flags on walls. A sense of unity spread that hadn't been seen in centuries. Humanity was waking up, and somewhere far away. In a dark region of space, an ancient Terran AI satellite, long believed lost, powered back on. Its signal reached Earth. Directive. 01, full mobilization activated. Stars would never be the same again. The war had just begun. The Galactic Council was confused, and that made them afraid. They had given Earth 10 days to surrender. Instead, Earth stayed silent. Even worse, their small fleet sent to destroy New York City had vanished. 21 ships gone. No survivors. No black boxes. It's just static. Inside the Council's star chamber, panic filled the air. Holograms of the destroyed fleet blinked on the floating screens. Alien leaders shouted across the round table, their voices filled with fear and anger. They destroyed our ships. No one has ever done this to us. How did we not see this coming? The oldest member of the council, a cold-blooded being known as Harnock, slammed his fist down. They broke the rules.
Ow.
This is an act of war. A voice crackled over. The Comes, human voice. It echoed through the council chamber. Calm, deep, with no fear. You sent a warning. We sent back silence. That silence was your answer. The council fell silent, and the message continued. We didn't hide because we were weak. We were quiet because we were waiting. The voice ended. Nothing else followed. The chamber went still. Some alien leaders looked pale. Others began to whisper among themselves. For the first time in centuries, someone had spoken to the council not with respect, but with power. The council voted to send a full invasion fleet, over 400. Ships from 20 alien species gathered in the Andromedon corridor. They were armed with plasma cannons, black hole torpedoes, and gravity bombs. Their mission, to force Earth's surrender or erase it completely. But even before they launched, something strange happened. In Sector Delta Phi, a shipyard orbiting, the gas giant Relka 8 went dark. The station had over 80 workers and 14 light cruisers under construction. No one responded. A rescue vessel was sent. When it arrived, the entire station was empty, not destroyed, not damaged, just empty. No bodies, no air, no answers. Security footage was erased. The last recorded image was a human face smiling. The council began to worry. Their second fleet, 200 ships strong, launched early. It took a faster route through the Helios Rift to reach Earth in half the time, but halfway through, the ships vanished from sensors. Gone from space. A probe, later sent to investigate, found only debris, small pieces floating in silence. Some of the pieces were warped, twisted in strange ways as if space itself had been torn. The aliens began to realize something terrifying. Humans weren't waiting to defend Earth. They were attacking, and they were choosing where, when, and how. Back on Earth, inside the deep command bunker under the Atlantic Ocean, human generals watched everything. They didn't cheer. They didn't celebrate. They simply watched. One young officer looked up. "Sir, they're sending more ships. Bigger ones." The general nodded. "Good. We haven't even warmed up." Across Earth, the secret defense program known as Project Phantom went active. It had been built in silence for over 60 years. Now it was ready. High above, Earth's moon began to glow faintly, not with sunlight, but with power. Hidden inside the rock were human weapons, giant rail cannons, stealth launchers, satellite disruption beams. But the most dangerous part wasn't the weapons. It was the human ice code named the Shades. They weren't just smart, they were ruthless, made for only one purpose: protect humanity at all costs. They had no emotion, no fear, no pity. And now, they were awake. The AI units began launching information attacks on Council systems. Within hours, over 50 alien communication hubs were jammed, banking systems collapsed, military codes were exposed. Some Council ships began attacking each other, confused by false orders. Back in the Council chamber, chaos exploded. "Our systems are compromised. We can't trust our own networks. They've invaded our minds. They're not just fighting us," one alien said, shaking, controlling the battlefield. Some demanded retreat. Others demanded peace, but a few still pushed for war. Humans are arrogant. We outnumber them. We outgun them. They're just one planet. But one younger alien officer from a species called the Volari spoke in a quiet voice. "They're one planet," he said, "but they have already hit 15 of our systems. They don't move like an army. They move like ghosts. Die." The room went cold. Back on Earth, humanity prepared for more. Inside the hidden factories under Greenland and Australia, more ships were being built. Not normal ships. Titan-class warships. Long, black, silent. These were not made to patrol. They were made to conquer. Each one carried planet-killer weapons. Each one had a crew trained in zero-gravity combat. Each one had a Shade AI guiding it. The first of these ships, codenamed Oblivion, was ready. It left Earth's orbit silently, then disappeared into deep space. Its target, a Council world responsible for funding the invasion. 2 days later, the planet was gone. Not attacked. It's not bombed. Gone. Scans showed it had been turned into a dead rock. All atmosphere lost. All cities erased. No one claimed credit. But everyone knew humans did it. The Council tried to hide the news, but it leaked. And when it did, panic spread across the galaxy. Civilian aliens began to protest against their own leaders. Many asked, "Why did we threaten Earth in the first place?" Others asked, "Can anyone stop them now?" Back on Earth, people were no longer afraid. They were proud. Every child in school now learned about Earth's secret strength. Every family knew someone working in the defense program. For the first time in a long time, the planet felt united. In one village in South America, an old woman prayed at a small temple. A child asked her, "Are we going to be safe?" She smiled and whispered, "We are not safe. We are dangerous." And far above, the stars seemed to grow darker, because the humans weren't just defending Earth anymore. They were hunting, and the galaxy had just realized something terrifying. They had warned Earth to kneel, but Earth had never planned to kneel. Earth was planning to rule. In the darkness between stars, something moved. No lights, no signals, no sound, just shadows, shaped like ships. They had no names, no official records, no known designs in any alien database. But they were real. And they were fast. These were the black ships. The galaxy would never forget them. Far away from Earth. In a quiet system near the edge of Council territory, a mining colony called Artis 7 was running normally. The aliens who lived there were not soldiers. They were workers, families, children. Then one day, the sky turned black. A single message appeared on every screen in the colony. Leave now. That was all. No name, no symbol, no flag. The colony governor laughed. It's a joke, he said. But 20 minutes later, the colony was gone. No explosions, no warnings. A patrol fleet, sent to investigate, found nothing but empty ground. No buildings, no people, no life. The ground was smooth, like it had been wiped clean, and high above something was watching. The council began to panic. Who is attacking our colonies? They leave no trace. They don't want land. They want fear. The truth was clear to some. Humans, the black ships, were not part of Earth's main fleet. These were older, built in hidden shipyards decades ago. Their missions were secret even from Earth's public. Only the top commanders in Shade A's knew their full orders. Their purpose was simple: strike first, strike hard, vanish, inside one. Of the ships, named Vengeance, the crew sat in silence. Their faces were calm, focused. These were not new soldiers. They were ghost-trained for space war before the Council ever noticed Earth. Target locked, said the pilot. Minimal defense, said the AI. The captain, a woman named Commander Alara, gave a single nod. No survivors. The ship fired. No missiles. Instead, it released a wave of micro-drones, invisible to most scanners. The drones entered the enemy station silently. Within seconds, they disabled power, jammed communications, and shut down life support. The station froze. Then, it fell. The Council lost another stronghold. Reports flooded in from every corner of the galaxy. One by one, outer colonies stopped answering calls. Resource planets went dark. Pirate fleets were destroyed. Rebel strongholds, some untouched for centuries, were hit and silenced. The same rumors followed each attack. No warning. Now no mercy. No trace, only black ships in the distance. The Council tried to strike back. They sent fleets to trap these human ghosts. But every time they arrived, the black ships were already gone. They didn't stay to fight. They didn't want glory. They only wanted results. The aliens who once laughed at Earth now hid in fear. The Council sent a spy ship toward Earth. It never returned. Then they sent 10 more. Only one made it back. The pilot, shaken and injured, spoke. Of what he saw, Earth is not what we thought. It's not just one planet. It's a fortress, a factory, command center for something far greater. The black ships are just the beginning. That message shook the Council to its core, because deep down, they knew it was true. They had underestimated Earth badly. And now, Earth was showing them why that was a mistake. In a hidden system far from Earth, one of the Council's strongest allies, the Volcari Dominion, prepared for defense. They had shields, fleets, orbital weapons, and millions of soldiers. They were. Sure, no one could attack them, but the black ships were already there. They had been watching for days, mapping every pattern, studying every signal. When they attacked, it took 7 minutes. The entire Volcari command center went offline. Their capital city lost power, their ships couldn't launch, their leaders were taken or killed without a sound. By the time backup fleets arrived, it was too late. The Volcari Dominion had fallen. One of their warlords survived. In an emergency message, he screamed into the camera, "They don't fight like us. They don't care about honor or rules. They are monsters in machines." The message ended with static. The Council called an emergency meeting. Fear was everywhere. They're destroying us from within. We must strike Earth directly. No, we tried. Their moon defenses wiped out our fleet. Then we surrender. No, we are the Council. But they weren't the same anymore. The council was fractured, divided. Weak, the fear of the black ships had spread into every corner of their empire and back on Earth. The human commanders watched silently inside the command bunker. The general leaned forward. "They'll try to hit us again, but they're too slow." He turned to the Shade AI. "Release Phase 2. The AI responded with a cold, perfect voice. "Confirmed." Black ships now authorized to strike inner systems. Earth had been holding back. Now, they were ready to go deeper. Aboard the Oblivion, the lead Titan-class warship, lights turned red, crew members took their positions. Weapons charged, coordinates locked. The captain gave the order. Next target, the Council homeworld. As the massive ship vanished into hyperspace, one last message was sent to the stars. You wanted Earth to kneel. Instead, we're coming to stand over your ashes. The black ships moved without fear, and the galaxy had run out of time. In a distant part of the galaxy, the Graldok Empire prepared for war. They were the Council's strongest military force. For 500 years, no one had defeated them. Their warships were huge, covered in armor, powered by Black Star cores. Their soldiers were born for battle, brutal and fearless. They called themselves the Unbreakable Fist of the Galaxy. They were coming for Earth, inside their main war station. Commander Thrask stood in front of a screen watching footage of destroyed colonies. "This is a trick," he growled. "Earth is small, weak. Their attacks are cowardly. Let's see how they handle real war." He gave the order. Over 40,000 ships began to move, heavy cruisers, battle tanks, and shock troopers. They gathered near the star cluster Vernate waiting to attack. But Earth had already found them at 0300 hours. Hume scouts observed the Gralduk fleet at 0330. The order was given, engage. But Earth didn't send a large fleet. They sent only 12 ships. 12. The Gralduk laughed when they saw the numbers. Their commanders believed Earth had gone mad. Some thought it was bait. Others wanted to capture the humans alive. Commander Thrask gave a wide, toothy smile. "Crush them. Show the galaxy who still holds power." But the 12 ships didn't run. They didn't even slow down. They charged straight toward the Gralduk lines, and then they vanished. Gralduk sensors picked up nothing. Then, without warning, one of their dreadnoughts exploded, cut in half by a weapon they didn't see. Panic started. Then another ship exploded, and another. The human ships reappeared. Now deep inside the Gralduk formation, they moved too fast, slipping through enemy formations like shadows. Their weapons made no sound, but the damage was clear. Gralduk ships were falling apart, melting, turning into floating pieces. "Where are they?" a Gralduk officer screamed. "They're inside us," someone shouted. "They're behind us." No matter how many ships the Gralduk fired at, they missed. The humans were faster, smarter and deadlier. Then Earth's newest weapon was used for the first time. A human ship released a small sphere, just one. It floated toward the Gralduk command ship. Commander Thrask stared at it, confused. "What is that? A drone? Shoot it?" But before they could react, the sphere turned red. The command ship's gravity systems failed. The artificial gravity reversed. Metal bent. Bulkheads ripped open. The crew was crushed or thrown into the ceiling. The ship broke apart without a single blast. It was the gravity bomb, something no alien race had ever seen before. In 10 minutes, Earth's 12 ships had destroyed over 4,000 Gralduk vessels. By the 20th minute, half the fleet was gone. By the 40th, only wreckage remained. The 12 ships returned to stealth mode and vanished into the stars. Only one Gralduk vessel escaped, its captain, bleeding and shaken, recorded a message. "Do not fight them. Do not even chase them. They are not like us. They are death itself." The message reached the council. Shock followed. No one had ever destroyed the Gralduk so easily. No one had ever dared to try. Now, the Gralduk Empire, the strongest army in the galaxy, was broken. And Earth had only used 12 ships, council members argued. We underestimated them. They're not just humans anymore, they're something else. We need a peace agreement now. But some still refused. We still have fleets. We still have allies. But those allies were now afraid. News of the Graalduck defeat spread across the galaxy and ours. On distant planets, alien leaders changed sides. Some offered to trade with Earth. Others shut off their weapons and begged to be ignored. One species, the Krennery, burned their own council flags and declared independence. Another surrendered without a single shot fired in the shadows. The black ships continued to strike, no longer at colonies but at military bases, factories, and shipyards. They left symbols behind now. A mark of Earth's new power, a simple black circle, glowing red in the center. It became a warning, promise. Some called it the Eye of Earth. If it appeared on your screen, it meant death was near. Earth didn't speak to the galaxy. Anymore they didn't have to. Their actions were louder than words. In a secret location, near the edge of the galaxy, humanity's top leaders met inside a mobile command station. They sat around a round table made of dark steel. No flags, no names. Only one rule: protect Earth at any cost. One of them, General Hale, looked at the reports. Graalduck gone. Council in chaos. Black ships ahead of schedule. Another nodded. We move forward, Shade AI, glowing faintly in the corner of the room, answered. Phase 3. Begin targeting political centers. Humanity was no longer fighting for survival. They were planning domination, and far above Earth. The Titan warships continued to grow in number. Each ship was a weapon. Each captain was trained to erase stars if needed. And the galaxy was finally beginning to understand the truth. They had demanded Earth's surrender. But now, strongest empires were falling first, and Earth had not even started using its full strength. After the fall of the Graalduck Empire, the galaxy was silent. Not peaceful. Just silent. The kind of silence that comes before something terrible. Every species was watching Earth now. Some in fear, some in anger, and some secret. The Galactic Council was falling apart. Members argued, blamed each other, and tried to hide their own secrets. Some still wanted to fight. Others wanted to surrender. A few had a different plan. They would pretend to be Earth's friends. Inside a hidden Council Station, 5 species met in secret. They called themselves the New Hand. Their idea was simple. Act like allies. Gain Earth's trust, then destroy it from the inside. They trust no one now. One alien said. They will need friends soon, another replied. Then we smile. And stab. But Earth was already watching. In a dark room far below the surface of Antarctica, a Shade AI was listening. It didn't sleep, it didn't eat, it didn't forget. Every signal, every whisper, remember every hidden message sent between the New Hand members Earth had already intercepted it. The Shade AI sent one quiet message. They believe we are blind. They will learn. Commander Alara, captain of the black ship Vengeance, received the update. Her orders were clear. The next day, one of the traitor species, the Drek, sent Earth a message offering peace. Trade and Alliance. Earth responded with a smile. 12 hours later, their main government building exploded. No warning, no sign of entry. Just gone. Then the Drek's home fleet suffered system failures. Gravity reversed. Engines locked. Shields stopped working in minutes. Half their fleet was gone. They screamed for help. Earth said nothing. Another traitor species. The Mallory tried a different trick. They sent gifts crystals, energy cores, rare minerals, saying it was a gift of friendship, but Earth's scans found something hidden deep inside the gifts. By the ship carrying the gifts exploded. Before it entered Earth's space, back on Mallory Prime, their secret base melted into ash. Black ships had already been watching them from orbit. The humans didn't send a message. They didn't need to. The galaxy understood the new rule. Lie to Earth and vanish. But not every species was an enemy. Some truly wanted peace. One small race, the Jiraki, sent no lies, no tricks, just a message. We do not seek war. We will not fight. We ask for mercy. Their signal came from a tiny moon with no weapons, no fleet, and no defense. Humanity's response was simple. Earth sent food, water, and medical supplies. Their signal came with 3 words. You are safe, the Juraki told the stars. Suddenly, many species stopped supporting the Council. Some dropped their weapons and cut all ties. Others offered their planets to Earth just to survive. Earth didn't conquer these places. Instead, they upgraded them. Human engineers arrived, fixed water systems, stopped plagues, gave protection, but in return, Earth installed listening towers. Black. Towers with blinking red eyes. Anyone who betrayed Earth from those worlds was caught before they could act. In less than a month, the map of the galaxy changed. The Council lost. 40% of its supporters, Earth gained them, and all of this happened without a single battle. Inside Earth's main control station, General Hale spoke with his team. They thought we didn't know who to trust, he said. But the truth is, we always knew. We just waited. The Shade AI added, the final phase is near. The targets are known. The traps are set. Meanwhile, in the Orion sector, a fleet of 20 alien ships moved toward Earth. They wore peace colors. Their message said, we come in peace. Earth already knew. One of those ships had a hidden weapon in its cargo hold. A star-core detonator meant to explode near Earth's orbit and kill millions. But the humans didn't wait. The fleet disappeared mid-flight. No message, no wreckage, nothing. The Council blamed pirates, but they knew the truth. One by one, every secret betrayal was exposed, and every traitor paid the price. The galaxy learned a hard lesson. Humans forgive slowly and strike fast. Back in the stars, the black ships continued to move. But now, they were escorted. Humanity had begun building new fleets larger than ever before. Ships the size of cities. Some had mobile factories inside. Others had full command stations on board. They weren't just warships. They were moving fortresses. And one of them, the Titan Iron Will, sent a message across open space. This galaxy belongs to the bold. Earth does not bow. Earth does not forget. The galaxy was no longer sure who was the hunter, who was the hunted. Even the Council's leaders started to hide. Some left their planets. Others went into deep space. But it didn't matter, because Earth was already tracking them, and when the time came, they would be next. The Council was desperate. Their fleets were broken. Their colonies were falling. Earth had taken everything from the shadows quickly, silently, and without mercy. Now they wanted revenge. Not a warning. It's not a fight. They wanted to erase Earth. Completely. Inside a deep space lab, orbiting a red dwarf star, the Council's secret scientists finished building a weapon never used before. It was called the Starpier Sura warhead, strong enough to split a planet in half. It used a stolen black hole core, wrapped in neutron compression fields. It was not meant to scare. It was made to destroy. One of the Council's remaining admirals, a reptilian creature named Valor, gave the order with no hesitation. Launch it at Earth. Let them vanish forever. A single ship carried the weapon, hiding behind a shield of cloaking fields and jamming pulses. It moved silently toward the solar system. Earth's defense grid didn't detect it, or so they thought. As the ship reached Earth's outer orbit, it prepared to fire. The warhead activated. The target was locked. But something strange happened. The ship's sensors then glitched again. The planet on the screen flickered and disappeared. Not destroyed, just gone? What is this? The alien captain shouted. He scanned again. Nothing. No planet. No moon. No signal. Only empty space. He looked to his crew, confused, shaken. Where is Earth? And then the stars moved. No, it wasn't the stars. It was a distortion, a massive shift in space itself. And behind that ripple, a black shape, huge, slow, silent. It was not a ship. It was not a station. It was something greater. It was Earth, but not the Earth they expected, wrapped in glowing light, surrounded by thousands of satellites and artificial rings. Earth now floated inside a massive energy shell, a Dyson cloak. It had been moved, pulled from normal space, now hidden inside a shielded bubble outside of time. The real Earth no longer existed on any star map. The version the aliens had seen before was a decoy, a holographic planet, built by thousands of satellites. To fool enemy scanners, the alien captain screamed. Abort! Abort the launch! But it was too late. The Starpiercer warhead flew into the fake planet and passed through it like a shadow. Nothing happened. Then the real Earth spoke, not with words, with action. Every alien signal was jammed. The cloaked ship lost control. Its engines failed. Its weapons shut off. One by one, its systems went dark. The crew began to panic, and then a voice spoke through their main screen. You thought you found us, but we found you first. The ship exploded from the inside. Back in council space, there was silence again, then fear, because the message was clear. Earth could now disappear and reappear at will, the Dyson. The cloak was not just defense, it was invisibility. It was invincibility, it meant. Earth could not be touched. Even the most advanced sensors couldn't find its true location anymore. It was like trying to find a ghost in space. Earth had become a myth. Some aliens began to think. Earth was no longer a planet, but something else, a god, maybe, or a machine beyond logic. Back on Earth, deep inside the Dyson cloak, humanity was calm. Inside the massive control ring floating around the planet, Commander Alara stood on a platform, looking down at Earth. Below, it worked, she said. The Shade, AI responded. Phase 4 complete. Earth is secure. Offensive operations may continue without concern. She turned to the large display showing dozens of targets across the galaxy. Our enemies think we're hiding, the AI replied. We're not hiding. We're hunting. At that moment, new fleets left the hidden Earth space. Ships made of new materials. Light-bending hulls. Silent drives. Weapons that could fold gravity and bend time. These were Earth's final phase vessels. Each one carried a mission. Each one had names like Silence, in Fire, Judgment, Shadowstorm. They had no crew, only AI. No fear, no mercy. The galaxy had never seen them before, but it was about to. On the outer rim of the Nabari cluster, a council fortress built inside an asteroid received a ping. It was a small signal, simple dot. A black circle with a red eye. They had seen it before, but never this close. Then the lights went out, and the fortress never responded again. All over the galaxy, species stopped asking, "Where is Earth?" Now, they asked something else. When will Earth find us? The fear spread fast. Council leaders went. Underground old allies turned off their comms. Neutral species began surrendering in advance, begging for mercy even before they were attacked. And inside Earth's Dyson cloak, the Shade A is continued tracking every lie, every whisper, every hidden enemy, because Earth had changed. It had become something new. It had left the galaxy behind, while still controlling it. And the galaxy finally understood the truth. They tried to bomb Earth, but Earth had already disappeared, and now it could strike from anywhere. The Galactic Council was dying, not all at once, but piece by piece, planet by planet, one by one, their great banners. Once symbols of order and power were now burned. Their systems full of laws, rules, armies were now in chaos, and Earth didn't even send full armies. They just sent messages. Short ones, you are marked. Sometimes those words came before a strike, sometimes after, but always. Someone disappeared on the council capital world, Varnax's prime. Panic filled the air. The great hall of leaders was almost empty now. Dozens of council seats were vacant. The leaders who once sat there were dead, hiding or missing. The few who remained shouted, argued, begged. We must stop them. Should have made peace when we had the chance. They're monsters' machines. This isn't war. Then the lights flickered. The walls shook. A shadow moved across the sky above the council dome. It wasn't a fleet. It was one ship, a Titan-class Earth dreadnought. It didn't fire a single shot, but every weapon on the planet shut down there. Shields collapsed. Their command towers froze. Then the Earthship spoke through every screen on the planet. A voice. Calm. Sharp. This is not revenge. This is justice. And the signal cut. And a quiet beam of red light fell from the sky, touching the center of the council dome. No explosion, no fire, just silence. And then, the dome crumbled into dust. The last active council leaders were gone. Varnaxis. Prime fell without a single battle. Earth didn't stay. The ship left as silently as it had arrived. But the message was heard everywhere. No one was safe. From that day on, council worlds began to fall like dominoes. Some tried to run, some tried to hide in neutral zones, some built new walls. Deeper bunkers, stronger fleets. But it didn't matter. Earth was always ahead. They struck supply lines. Satellites shut down power grids from light years away. The black ships came and went without being seen, sometimes entire star. Systems would go quiet overnight. Their last broadcast always ended the same way, the ICs. The galaxy didn't know where Earth was anymore, but Earth knew where everyone else was. 1. Council world called Telrose Prime tried to surrender. They opened all comms, sent out white flag signals, offered their leaders as prisoners. No reply came. Instead, every weapon on the planet exploded at the same time. Controlled, precision strikes. No civilians. It died. Only those in power. Earth didn't. Want planets? They wanted the ones who ordered Earth's destruction to pay. They wanted fear, and they got it. The galaxy changed its laws. New alliances were formed. Old enemies begged to become allies. Some even offered their own technology to Earth in exchange for safety. Back inside Earth's Dyson cloak, General Hale looked at a holographic star map. Dozens of red dots blinked. Out one by one, all council targets, all cleared, he asked. The Shade, AI responded, all but one. He raised an eyebrow. Which one, Zoranthos? The AI said. The last hidden world of the first circle, built into a black star's orbit. Last known location of Supreme Commander Vartak. General Hale nodded once. Then let's end this. A few hours later, 5 Titan-class warships and a swarm of black ships entered the system. No words, no signals. They just attacked. The black star made it hard for sensors to work. But the humans didn't need sensors. The Shades already mapped everything. In 19 minutes, Zoranthos fell. Commander Vartak tried to escape in a stealth pod. It was caught mid-flight. Later, Earth sent one final message to the galaxy. The Council is no more. That day, the stars changed. The flags of the old order were lowered in their place. A new banner rose, black, with a single red eye. Planets that once feared Earth, now followed Earth. Trade routes reopened, but only under Earth's rules. Space lanes were patrolled by Earth's AI-controlled. Ships, criminal empires were erased overnight. Pirate fleets that once terrorized systems vanished, and everywhere. Across every corner of the galaxy, one truth echoed louder than ever before. This was Earth's galaxy now. They didn't need to say it. Everyone already knew. The war was over. The Council was gone. Their fleets, their rules, their pride, it had all turned to dust. And now, across the stars. One voice remained. Earth. But Earth did not celebrate with fireworks or cheers. They rebuilt, they expanded. They prepared for what came next, because Earth knew something the others didn't. This was not the end. It was only the beginning. From the Dyson cloak orbiting Earth's real position, new structures were launched. Megastations, deep space colonies, hyperjump gates that allowed instant travel between far systems, and each one carried the same symbol, the Eye of Earth. Planets that had once stood against humanity were now requesting protector status, not by force, by choice. They had seen what Earth could do. Now they wanted to be under its shadow, inside the main command center orbiting Earth. General Hale stood at the edge of a massive observation deck. Behind him, maps of the galaxy, updated in real time. A young officer approached. "Sir, the last of the old Council worlds have been cleared." Hale nodded slowly. The Shade AI behind them added, 1,223 systems now operate under Earth law. No resistance remains. But Hale didn't smile. He turned to the stars. "Peace doesn't mean safety," he said. "It means they'll wait until they forget, till they get brave again." The AI spoke in a calm voice. "That is why Earth remains ready." On Mars, new command centers lit up. On Titan, shipyards launched supercapital vessels far larger than the black ships. And on Earth's moon, hidden under layers of defense, the vault opened for the first time. Inside were blueprints, not just for weapons, for rebuilding the galaxy. Under one ruled one law. Humanity's law. Earth sent a message to every species, every system, every survivor. No threats, no warnings, just truth. This galaxy has no kings, no empires, no rulers. It has law, and we are that law. Not because we asked for it, but because you forced our hand. Earth does not seek control. Earth enforces peace. Break that peace. Disappear. The message was repeated on every planet. No one argued, even the ones who hated Earth. Obeyed. They had no choice. Because Earth didn't just win a war, they rewrote the future. On distant worlds, children were now taught Terran history. Soldiers trained using Earth manuals. Shuttles were designed with Terran codes, and in the farthest systems where no one had even seen a human, whispers spread like wind. Obey the Eye or face the end. But Earth did more than rule. They built old. Broken colonies were restored. Famine planets were fed. Plagues were ended with Tarun medicine. Criminal syndicates were hunted and erased. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy was quiet. No war, no chaos. Only order. And Earth, watching from behind the veil, was ready for anything. Commander Alara, now Admiral of the Black Fleet, stood aboard the Vengeance, watching a star burn in the distance. A young recruit asked her, "Ma'am, is the galaxy safe now?" She didn't answer right away. Then she turned. "No galaxy is ever safe, but it's quiet. That's because they know we're watching. Will they rise again?" Alara smiled coldly. "They always do. That's why we never sleep." And somewhere beyond the known galaxy, signal flickered. It was faint, weak, but it wasn't from Earth. It was from outside the mapped stars. Unknown origin, strange language. And then, translation. "We see your eye. We come in numbers. Prepare." Inside Earth's deep core AI vault. The message was received. The Shade AI processed it silently, then forwarded it to one person only, General Hale. He read it, then whispered, "So it begins again." Earth had brought peace to the galaxy. But now, something else was coming. Something far worse. And Earth would be ready. Because Earth was no longer just a planet. It was a fortress. It was a hunter. It was the law. And in this galaxy, humanity ruled the stars.